read something that is so ridiculous that you don't even know how to respond. So how y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? So apparently we offered Chelsea a loan for Callum Hudson-Odoi with the option of buying him for 70 million pounds. Let me repeat that. Apparently we offered Chelsea a loan deal with a 70 million pound option. Now the keyword here is of course option. So it's not we've seen plenty of these so far with Coutinho, a great example where we had the option to purchase him for 120 odd million, I think it was, and we were like, nah, we just want him alone, bro. We're not gonna buy him for that kind of money. We just want him alone. And my jolly goodness, when I read those figures, I was like, how much? That must be a typo here. You mean 7 million, right? 07, not 70. Like, I know it's an option, but like when you think about how much money we actually spend on individual transfer targets, and when you think about I know it's obviously for next season, like when the option would come into effect, but considering that the effects of COVID are still going to be there next season, they're still going to impact our finances next season. The whole thing just seems absolutely ridiculous to me. I'll be honest, it just seemed absolutely ridiculous to me. 70 million. Now we know that Salihamidzic, he really wants Callum Hudson-Odoi at Bayern. The rumors have started again that we're really trying to get Callum Hudson-Odoi. Another transfer window, another time us trying to get him. Now, of course, as I said, Salihamidzic, he really wants him. Like, he's been trying to get him. Apparently, internally, he's also said that he can imagine Callum Hudson-Odoi to get to a level where he becomes a player worth 100 million plus. But my goodness, like for someone that is relatively unproven, now has had very few minutes at like top level football, 70 million. My jolly goodness. I know it's an option. Don't get if it was an obligation to buy, it would probably be significant. It would probably be like 35 million, maybe 40 million, right? That's probably what it would be. It was a loan with an obligation to buy, but still, just the fact that I saw this news just made me think like, whoa, what? It feels like we're going after Messi here, like the next Messi when it's Callum Hudson-Odoi. Now, I've seen a bunch of Chelsea, not just this season, but also last season. I think all of us have, honestly, because we have been linked with him for such a long time. And he hasn't really ever impressed. Like, obviously, he scored this, in quotation marks, he scored an amazing goal against us in the Champions League. Scored again, which was then ruled for offside. But, like, he hasn't really done much in like professional level. Now, there's a difference between seeing someone and seeing the potential, and I'm all for that. If Salihamidzic sees the potential, I'm all for it. I'm like, okay, fantastic. If you're gonna go for him, go for him. But just the option, just the fact that the option is 17. I know the options never matter, alright? And the option, I know that, and I'm making absolutely clear the options now. The option could be 500 million. The intent is obviously that we wouldn't pursue that. But I wonder what the actual fee is going to be. Like I don't know if we're going to get Callum Hudson. I actually think we won't. I think it's another one of those chases that we'll do, and then it's going to be like, nah, no time, or nah, just not happening. They flat out refuse, like kind of like the last summer. But I actually do wonder, like, what the fee will be, because if an option for 70 million is being talked about, you kind of have to worry about, you kind of have to wonder, like, what will the actual fee be? Now, again, I think 35 million or so. I think 35 million wouldn't be a bad deal, honestly. But like, he's extended his contract last season, so it's going to be even more difficult. And last season, obviously, he only had 1 year left on his contract, I believe. And I think what we talked about, like 35 million, 40 million, that was the numbers that were talked about. So like, even last season, where he only had 1 year left, those are the numbers being talked about. So I feel like with him having extended his contract, we might really reach those like 60 to 70 million sums. And I'm like, bro, I know you see something in him, right? But like, there are surely other players. At this point, it seems like he's scouted like 5 players, and he keeps trying to get those 5 players year in, year out. Like, we get the same targets we had last season, are the same targets we have this time. It's like, surely you have scouted other players as well. Surely, like, look, go to the French league. There are plenty of talented players that could play for us. Someone like Depay, for example. I wouldn't be against it necessarily, and he would cost around 25-30 million. Now at this point it's probably too late, but like, you know, you think about these figures and you're like, bro, he's not the only player in the world. I just don't understand this fixation on Callum Hudson-Odoi. Anyway, absolutely ridiculous figures. Now maybe there will be a loan option with an obligation to buy. I hope the obligation to buy would be significantly lower. Considering our record transfer is Lucas Hernandez at 80 million, we bought him. He's an established player, you know, that has had years under his belt, and we paid 80 million because that was his release clause. Callum Hudson-Odoi hasn't had that years of experience at top level football, but hey, as I said before, for me, as of right now, as of this moment today, Salihamidzic has done good work. And so he essentially, whoever he wants to go for, even if I don't see it, I will 100% support whoever he goes with, because he's done a good job with players that I didn't know about, with players that I haven't really watched, with players that maybe I have watched and didn't think much about, and then they turned out good. So in this case, I'm in that boat where I'm like, alright, I've seen enough of him. I don't think he's worth that much, but if he does, I hold my hands up and I'm like, okay, fair enough. Go for it. Just for 70. Hey, we do need a right back as well, you know. We do need a right back as well, fam. Like just saying. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you all think. First of all, would you pay 70 million? I don't think you would either. We don't even have 17. Like obviously, it would have to be a loan first. Like next season, okay, we'll see. Now we already spent money on Sané this summer, of course, so you have to take that into consideration. But like, you know, a loan I could see, and then us maybe having an obligation to pay, say, 50 million. That's still a bit high. I'm talking about euros here, not pounds. 50 million euros. That's still a bit high, but like at that point, I can be like, okay, I'll turn the other cheek. I'll turn the other cheek. That'll be my response to that. But let me know what you all think. What do you think of that rumor, first of all, that was denied? It's an option. Keep that in mind. It's not an obligation, but still, it's still crazy. It's still absolutely ludicrous, honestly, in my honest opinion. But hey, we'll see how it all progresses. We'll see how it all goes. There's only a few more days, 2 more days left to go. Monday is approaching relatively quickly. We got to do our deals and our signings and our transfers by then. Our right back and a winger. Let's see. We seem to have gotten our midfielder. Now only 2 more left to go. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you on the next one, everyone. Until then, I almost have a feeling that we might go off the visor for some reason. I don't know, alright? Like an emergency panic buy. Get a visor back, something like that. But hey, anyway, though, ladies and gentlemen, that was my opinion on this transfer. By the time I wake up, there'll probably be like another 10 stories, honestly, but the way the transfer window, these last couple of days are going, I generally always prefer our transfers to be done early on, not late. Usually they are done early, but hey, it is what it is this time. It's being done late. As long as they're being done, I don't mind. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I will see all of you in the next one, everyone. Peace out. Until then, have a nice day, and bye. Onwards, forwards, and upwards. Peace out.